Hey folks, Adrian Terry here with Keller Williams Realty and Archer Group Realty right here in Buford, Georgia. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out my video today. Today's video is titled, Don't Be a Jimmy. Whoa, what does that mean? Don't be a Jimmy. I'm going to tell you a quick story about Jimmy. Jimmy is a fake name designed to protect the innocent, right? We don't want anybody to know who Jimmy really is. Jimmy is a guy that I met last year. He's an interesting guy. He had a really nice house in the Northeast Metro Atlanta area that he needed to sell. Jimmy had a house that's paid off, is in a nice neighborhood, great area, great schools, you know, and the neighborhood was probably doing somewhere in the, you know, the price ranges were $275 upwards of $350, maybe $360. I believe $360 was the highest sale they had in 2014 up until that point. So Jimmy calls me up and says he wants to sell his house. We go over there, we take a look at it, we do our consultation, we bring the data, which, by the way, we do a lot of research. Whenever we come over and we take a look at your house and we advise you on how to price your house, which, by the way, pricing your house is the best way to ensure that you get the most money for it and you sell it quickly. And when I say pricing your house, I mean pricing it accurately to line up with what the market is doing. So if you're out of the market and you're priced way above, people aren't even going to look at you. They're not even going to check out your house. And the only person benefiting from that is the guy who has a sign in your yard, because chances are he's getting buyer leads off of that sign. He's using your listing to get more business while he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, which is selling your house because he overpriced it. So anyhow, we'll get to all that in a second. So let me tell you about Jimmy. We go over there, we check out his house. He's got a really nice house. And he says, you know, we sit down, we start going over the data. He looks at my numbers, and I could see it all over his face. He said, Adrian, you're telling me you want to list my house at $340,000? And you think we should probably sell it around $330,000, $335,000 tops? And I said, yeah, Jimmy, absolutely. That's what the data's telling me. I don't make this stuff up. I simply do the research. We interpret the data. We interpret the market. And then we relay that information to you. If you really want to sell this house and you want to sell it quickly, Jimmy, this is what has to happen. You have to sell the house in this price range. That's all the market is going to do in your neighborhood. So Jimmy, you know, starts going, I don't know, Adrian, I don't know. And I said, what's wrong, Jimmy? Talk to me. What's wrong? He said, Adrian, I need $370,000 for this house. This is what I look like when he said that number. $370,000. I said, Jimmy, the proof is right there, buddy. I said, the data doesn't lie. I think 370 is way too much. I think it's way too much. He said, absolutely not. I'm not selling it for a penny less. So I told Jimmy, you know, I'm going to think about it. You think about what I had to say. I'll think about what you had to say. We'll talk in a few days. Well, a few days go by. I called Jimmy up. In the meantime, he had interviewed a couple more agents, and he found himself an agent who was willing to buy his listing. What does that mean, buying his listing? Well, he certainly didn't buy his house. The agent wasn't going to give him any money for it. The agent was going to buy the listing. He was going to agree. At all costs, that agent agreed with Jimmy and said, I'll list your house for $370. Sure, we'll get you $370, no problem. So they listed it. It sat there for 4 months. Didn't sell. 4 months goes by. Jimmy calls me up and says, Adrian, didn't have any luck with the last guy. I'm frustrated. Come on over. Let's talk about selling the house. This time he said he wanted $360 for the house. I said, Jimmy, we're still at least $20,000 over where you need to be. I told you 340 is the number, Jimmy. Things haven't changed that much in the last 4 months. So once again, we shook hands, we parted ways. Jimmy went out and sold his listing to another agent. Somebody else who was willing to buy that listing, stick a sign in that yard, and pray for the best, right? Well, I can tell you, as of today, March 4th, 2015, Jimmy's house is still for sale. It's still sitting there, folks. It's a really nice house. And it's paid off. Jimmy could sell that house, and he could cash out, and he could put $330,000, maybe $335,000 in his bank account in the next 30 days if he would price it properly. So my advice to you folks, if you want to sell your house, if you want to sell it quickly, assuming the condition is good, assuming there's not, who knows, a chicken farm behind it or something crazy like that, assuming the location's great, assuming all things are good, if you're not pricing your home correctly, if you're not pricing it in the market where buyers will be interested, there's not much I can do for you. So the moral of the story is, don't be a Jimmy. Call the right agent, which Jimmy did, right? Call the right agent, but then listen to what that agent has to tell you. I would encourage you to interview more than one agent. I'd love to be one of the people you interviewed. I'd love to share my marketing strategy. I'd love to show you how we advertise properties. I'd love to show you what my listings look like compared to other agents. I think you'll be impressed. I'm very confident. Interview the other agents. Make sure they bring the right research and the right data, and make sure that they're honest with you. Don't fall victim to agents who buy listings. Don't be a Jimmy, because it might be 6-7 months down the road. It might be a whole new year, and you might find yourself sitting there wondering, why hasn't my house sold? Why did I see 3 new listings in the last 6 months in my neighborhood get sold, and mine's still here? And I'm not even getting any showings. What is going on? If that's you, you're probably a Jimmy, and you probably need to go ahead and give me a call once that listing expires. We need to sit down, we need to talk about it, and we'll do it the right way. Thanks, y'all. I hope that helps. I hope you learned a little bit. The moral of the story, don't be a Jimmy. Make sure you find the right agent. And I'd prefer that agent to be me, so give me a call. My name's Adrian. I'm with Keller Williams Realty and Archer Group Realty right here in Buford, Georgia. We cover all of Northeast Metro Atlanta, from Alpharetta all the way up to Jefferson and everything in between. Y'all take care, and we'll see you in the market. Thanks.